Hi everyone, I'm Tom Slivick. Welcome to TSPN's News for Today. We're going to begin our day with Supervisor Richard Forster. He's the chairman of the Board of Supervisors, and he's going to be giving his Supervisor Report from yesterday's meeting.
And this is Richard Forster with our Supervisor Report from March 12, 2013. Starting off the meeting, we had Shelley Hansen from the Amador-Tuolumne Community Action Agency. Shelley gave an overview of their program and the operations, how long it's been operating, and it's been in place since 1981 in Amador County and Tuolumne County. She said there's been different versions of it in other counties. There are some activities with Calaveras, but they are not a part of the Amador-Tuolumne Community Action Agency. They employ about 70 Amador County residents within the program, so that's very notable for the amount of people. I know a lot of people get their startups there too. Do a lot of things throughout the community. They have a $7 million budget annually in Amador and Tuolumne County. Shelley also had Tara Parker and Virginia Manor with her, some of the employees that handle some big items for ATCA. Discussion took place, and this was also a funding request for $16,000, but with the annual report, the board always likes the annual report, likes to have a chance to ask questions. Questions came up about the structure of the governing board and the structure of the tripartite board. The governing board actually is 2 electeds from Amador, 2 electeds from Tuolumne. They should be the ones making the majority of the decisions, but what happens is people sometimes not really run before boards of supervisors are appointed to the tripartite board, and they just seem to come out of thin air. That was one of the issues that Supervisor John Plaz had. He serves as the rep on this along with Supervisor Ted Novelli, but they had major issues with that tripartite board and the way it was, the appointments were happening there. So that will come back with Shelley Hans for discussion amongst the governing board members and herself. I will get into what ATCA does a little bit now. They have the Family Resource Centers, which are in Tuolumne, or excuse me, in Pine Grove and Comanche, and those centers provide a lot of activity. They partner with 0 to 5 that provides some of the first 5 for 0 to 5 that provides some of the funding for that age range, but they also do a lot more. They serve the communities with partnership with the food bank, with learning lessons, with classes, and then a senior facility, so a meeting place for the community group down in Comanche, the Lake Comanche Village Homeowners Association. Other things they do are housing resources, home energy assistance, early childhood services, youth programs, family and senior services, and just under family and senior services, there's 3 pages of functions that they provide in the community. So ATCA does a wonderful job in the community of assisting people in a number of different ways. They also provide things like hooking people up with assistance if they can't pay their energy bills. So if you are having any trouble and you need to find a way out, sometimes ATCA is that way. I know they help us with the Harvest Fair down in Ione to come in, and Tommy Webb and his partner come in and do some of the activities there with the pumpkin, Megan Taylor. So a number of activities, Shelley Hansen, ATCA, so call them if you have any needs. Also, I forgot to mention, Virginia Manor does the Lifeline program, which is wonderful for our senior population and those people that are homebound that may have issues out there. So anyway, great program, ATCA, and we'll continue. The board has voted to continue to support them. The elected officials in Amador County approached the Board of Supervisors asking for a salary survey, and in questioning Sheriff Martin Ryan, who made the request on behalf of them, this was only a request for a salary survey. It was nothing beyond that. Didn't even touch on the issue of asking for an adjustment in the salaries of elected officials. It was only a salary survey. This does not cover the Board of Supervisors. Board of Supervisors wages are tied to the Superior Court judge, a percentage of the Superior Court judge. We on the Board of Supervisors, like the electeds, have not taken any raises in the last 4 years. And as Sheriff Ryan pointed out, All of us have been in the same boat on this. The electeds took furlough days and a reduction in pay when the employees took a reduction in pay because of furloughs. So with this salary survey, the only discussion came up was the counties to use in it. Historically, it's been somewhat like-sized counties: Nevada, Tuolumne, Calaveras, Mariposa, San Benito. Yolo has been thrown in there, and El Dorado on different occasions, so there'll be a discussion whether to use those or not. But as the sheriff indicated, though, the last salary survey done was 2008, and that salary survey showed that positions were 18 to 25% under the average. So as he said, it's just a method to know where we're at, and that's all it's intended to be. Next up, we had a discussion on the County Medical Services Program Governing Board. I sit on that board. It represents 35 rural counties that need to administer the money that comes from the state for health care services. That money comes from 1991 realignment health funding, and I thought it was important to bring this to the board because the Affordable Care Act, or as some people refer to it as Obamacare, will be coming down the pipe. It's already being implemented, but the big turn comes on January 1st of 2014, and there's going to be major changes at that time. Some of the structures being decided right now. The Brown administration in Sacramento is deciding whether they're going to push for a state option or a county option. Under the state option, things would stay pretty much the way they are. The money would come in from the federal government, and they would administer that money out to our health programs in the counties. The Brown administration was pushing for a county option to have each county, 58 counties, administer their own programs. Just about everybody is saying that's not the way it should be done. It's going to cost more. It's not as efficient as the state administering the program. Either way, the state is asking for some of that realignment money to come back to them. So they're making another grab. A lot of counties are hesitant now. I think counties have learned from AB 109 what happened with the prison realignment, and knowing that our jails are being flooded now and the impacts, and they're being flooded by the inmates coming in from the state, that these inmates that are non-violent, non-sexual, non-serious offenses, well, they're pretty serious, though. Some of these people have priors that have caused problems in our jail, and I think supervisors have learned their lesson. The County Medical Services Program has come out saying the county option would be the best, and you have many large counties in the state, Santa Clara, Los Angeles, saying that the state option would be the best. So the state option is where everybody's pushing, and we'll see how the cards fly there. We had a couple more items. If you want to see that, just go to our Board of Supervisors agenda online at the county website. 223-6470 if you have any questions. This is Supervisor Richard Forster, and we're going to a break.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back, or thank you, Richard Forster, for that. Let's take a look at our weather. Still got that green out there, the blue out there in the ocean coming our way, but right now we have a sunny day, the high 75, low of 52, winds out of the southwest, 5 miles an hour. On Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 75, low of 50, winds out of the east at 6 miles an hour. And on Friday, mostly sunny with a high of 71 and a low of 50. Air quality index report, ozone levels are moderate today, and will be moderate again tomorrow at 55. Burn day information, make sure it is a burn day. Give them a call at 223-6246. And stay with us. We'll be back with our interview right after this break. You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.